everyone, welcome to Arrow Discussions. I'm Captain Logan.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Arrow Discussions, and I'm Eric.
Are you just going to repeat everything I say the whole review?
Are you just going to repeat everything I'm going to say during the whole review?
No, I'm not. Today, we're going to review the second episode of Arrow. Just aired on Wednesday. We're playing catch-up because we posted the first episode the day after that review, or after that episode, which was unfortunate because a lot of the comments were, hey, this is great. Did you see the second one? Let's talk about that.
There were a lot of comments like that. I kind of thought we would just always be a week late. I don't know.
Yeah?
It avoids spoilers.
Well, no, that's a good point. But I figure most of the people that would listen to this would probably have already seen it. So the second episode is called Honor Thy Father. And Eric, right out the gate, I liked it a lot better than the pilot.
I liked it moderately better than the pilot.
Okay, what were your issues with it?
I felt like everyone was asking Ollie to, like, shape up and get over his 5 years on an island real fast. Like, everyone. And I had this conversation with my girlfriend after we watched it, where she was like, everyone was being mean to him. And I was like, well, his sister was being mean to him. I'm like, his mom's evil, so I don't... Like, she kind of gets a pass on being mean to him. But it just felt like everyone was just like, get over yourself. You're only on there for 5 years. You're home now. Shape up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I thought that there were a couple of strange things like that. The biggest one for me was just the whole thing with the tombstones at the end, because I just kept getting distracted by the fact that he's been back, a week, and he's just now getting around to getting rid of the tombstone that says he's dead.
See, and I didn't notice that at all. All I noticed was that they were the most generic tombstone engravings, period. It was just like loving father and giving husband, loving and giving son.
Looked like they just went and got him from the Halloween spirit store.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, like, as rich as they are, and I mean, they live in Lex's castle after all. So
yeah, I meant to make a joke about that last time. That all super people live in the same building. X-Men.
Let's talk some about some of the patterns that are beginning to emerge and what we like about them and what we don't. This is clearly going to be kind of a freak of the week kind of show. Not that they're freaks, but that it's going to be, Oliver ticks off one of his people on his hit list every week. And
can I say I'm fine with freak of the weeks if every single episode it's an actual comic book villain?
Well, yeah, the thing is, so far they've been really generic. And I know we've only had 2 episodes, but I'm waiting for, and maybe this is too much to expect.
I'm really interested to see with Deadshot and Deathstroke.
Yeah, I know you are, but what I was going to say is, what I'm excited to see, and I guess I can't expect this in the second episode because there's still a lot of character building going on, is a bad guy that has a chance at actually defeating the hero. That'd be good.
I'm hoping that's Deathstroke, because my theory is that he trained Green Arrow on the island, so I'm hoping that he's going to show, because apparently he shows up in episode 5. Someone in the comments for the last review we did said that. So yeah. I'm hoping that he's going to show up, and that's going to change things.
But I got to tell you, I would be kind of impressed if the show could come up with corporate tycoon guys that are interesting and don't have to be necessarily based on supervillains. I mean, like the show is making up some characters. So far, both of the guys that Green Arrow has had to take, Arrow, whatever he's called in this show.
He's not called anything.
So far, he's not, yeah. But I mean, both the guys that Oliver's taken out, the first 2 episodes, have been really generic.
Yeah, China White in the comics was a drug dealer and ran like a heroin farm on the island that Oliver gets shipwrecked on. It's been a while since I read Year 1. I don't think she was a master assassin, but I was kind of excited to see her. And I like I think it's Kelly Hugh. I'm not sure how you pronounce her last name. It's H-U. If I'm remembering correctly, she was in a Bond movie. And I liked her well enough, but she was giving me nothing. She was really, really bland. And the really, really obvious wig didn't help.
Nope, not at all. Having said that, I thought that the characterizations for some of the characters that I called generic last episode, major recurring characters, were much less so, and I can finally see myself latching on to some people. I gotta tell you, I can see this show finding its legs now. And I mean, like, it's got a long way to go, but it's definitely got a good shot at doing that, and I'm really excited to see where some of these characters go. My favorite character right now is John Diggle, the bodyguard. I think he is
really
fantastic
like him
now.
Is he from something? Every time he shows up on screen, I'm like, I feel like I know him from something.
Yes, and I can't, for the life of me, tell you what. While we're talking, I'll look here. But yeah, I've seen him in something too, and I can't think of what it was. I don't think it was Heroes, but it was something...
geeky.
It was something geeky, yeah, absolutely. I'll have to look around here for a second, but...
I really liked Paul Blackthorne as, I don't know what his name is, the cop. As Captain Lance, whatever his first name is. I really liked him. I really liked his interaction with Laurel. Oh, he's from Dexter. That's where I know him from.
Oh, okay. The place I knew him from was Journeyman.
That's weird. We both knew him from two different things.
Yeah, and neither of which the other person has probably seen.
I've never even heard of Journeyman.
And I've never gotten around to watching Dexter.
Anyways,
go ahead.
This is not a watching shows that we don't know thing. I really liked Paul Blackthorne. I really like what he's bringing to the character. Again, just like the first episode, I don't think he's written particularly well, but I think he brings a lot to the role. I think a lot of that role is
that acting. Him. Yeah, that acting is making that writing look a lot better than it is. Absolutely, he's got.
I think that's true for a lot of the performances in the show. I think the relationship between John Diggle and Oliver Queen is all the acting.
I agree with you. Although he does have a couple of really good lines, and I wanted to bring this up. I like that bit where he says that he is impressed with Oliver for being able to throw an improperly weighted knife 10 feet across a room. That he notices things like that, and most importantly, that this show will pick up on things like that. Exactly.
Yep, absolutely. I Smallville would never do something like that.
Yeah, well, and certainly not very often. I mean, shows like that, and I mean, I don't want to just call out Smallville every time we review one of these. There are a lot of other shows like that too, where somebody gets thrown up against a wall 2-3 times an episode, and they never break any bones. And then when people complain enough about it, when the audience complains enough about it, then they just do a token episode where somebody gets thrown up against a car, and then they get a neck injury or something.
Right.
But here, I think it's quite a bit smarter than that. I'm also starting to see that maybe they're going to do something a lot more interesting with the Laurel Oliver relationship than I originally expected. I really thought it was going to be kind of a yo-yo thing, like Clark Lana. It doesn't look like it's going to be quite that.
I really liked the scene where they're together, and I also really liked the scene right after that with Laurel and Tommy, where she just there's no hiding, there's no pretending. She just straight out says, I saw Ollie last night. He invited me to this. I really like that.
Some people, especially after this episode, are continuing to complain that the show seems a little bit too much Batman. And I wanted to know what you thought of that, because the place I really noticed it, and when I say Batman, I really mean kind of Nolan. The place I really noticed it is, it seems like by the end of this, he's really putting, like laying on thick the whole "I'm the irresponsible rich kid that doesn't know what he's doing," so that people won't know that he's Green Arrow.
That's interesting, because I kind of got a bit more Tony Stark from that.
Oh, really? Not me,
Yeah,
because Tony Stark, like didn't pretend that kind of stuff most of the time. Like he would just be drunk if he was drunk. That last scene reminded me a lot of the Bruce Wayne pretending to be drunk in
yeah,
Batman
yeah.
Begins scene.
I guess I didn't really think of it like that, but you're right.
And
You're right.
I don't know if it's a problem. I don't think I can really critique it until I see where they take it and if they take it into some different directions. What do you think of the whole subplot going on with his mother wanting him to take over the company and him refusing, and how
I
he
think
handles
it's
all that?
really weird because she wants him killed. I thought that was just, I don't know. I found that really, really weird.
Well, she
that,
doesn't. Here's the thing, though. Does she want him killed? Because she just keeps talking about information he has.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
She doesn't want him dead. There's just something that he knows because he was on that island, about his father that she wants from him.
Is that supposed to be? I'm kind of unsure. Are they intentionally vague on what the information is?
Yes, absolutely.
Or is that being a
we
plot
know.
contrivance?
The question is it just that he's got that book of all the people's names, or is there actually something he knows that we don't even know?
Well, the dad
that he
said
knows?
something about like, well, I've done some bad things, and I'm not sure if that's just the plot and we're just running with it, or if that's supposed to be a mystery. Like, I don't know if they're being intentionally vague because it's a mystery or because they don't care. By the way, I just looked it up. The mob boss in this is the abusive bodyguard, or the abusive guard from X-Men 2.
Oh, it is? Okay. Eric and I had a conversation about this earlier, and he said he thought that's who that was, and I didn't even notice it. So, well, good on you for catching that. And boy, has he lost some weight.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? I actually really liked him in this episode. It was actually kind of the exact same performance he gave in X-Men 2, but he's kind of like happy to be there.
Yeah.
And I kind of enjoyed that. I love the scene where Arrow hangs him upside down and is shooting like arrows at him.
Yeah, that was really cool. Oh, I had a question for you. Is it just me, or did he kill a lot fewer people this episode?
Yeah, he definitely did. He kill anybody this episode?
I'm not sure that he did. And so here I am, second episode, still not sure if this is a guy who intends on killing people, is okay with killing people. I saw one of our commenters from last video said that he can't get into the show because he feels like it's just too much of a dragged out Punisher plot.
I feel like this episode went way far away from that. I could see that with the first episode, but this episode was much more, I have a mission and I'm on it.
Sure, but what I can't decide is if it's inconsistent with the first episode or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
In that, and I guess for me, a lot of the reviews of this episode is I don't know if I like certain things or not until I see more of the show.
Yeah. There was something else I wanted to bring up with the episode. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was something with a name. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, I feel like the show's being intentionally vague with certain things that I wish they'd just come right out on. Like the whole thing with his mom. I kind of just want to know why she wants him killed. Like, I don't feel like that should be a mystery. Like, we got the first episode where it's a big reveal. I want to know, and I guess they're building to that because we saw that symbol. Did that symbol look really familiar to you?
No, it didn't. I wasn't sure what that was.
When I saw it, I'm like, that looks like something. I don't know. And then there's that guy with like it on his computer screen.
Yeah, them dragging this out is a big mystery as far as what exactly it is he knows about his father that she doesn't. I think is really them trying too hard to keep viewership. I'm cool with mystery plots. I mean that's great, and I'm cool with long-term mystery plots. But that's not real intriguing to me because I know that if I think about it too hard, whatever it ends up being can't be nearly whatever I could come up with will be way more interesting than whatever it ends up being because you know that it's just a keep people watching every week kind of plot.
My problem with it is that it's a mystery where everyone in the show knows the mystery. It's only a mystery to us.
That's a huge problem too. Yeah, I hate that.
And I think it's really weird that he doesn't know his mom's evil. Like his dad like had this huge list of things and he doesn't know that the mom is evil. Like that seems kind of strange. But at the same time, his dad said like three things to him and then blew his brains out. Um,
Isn't it also possible, though, that, I mean, we're calling her evil and stuff, but again, I don't think she wants him dead. I think she just wants information from him. She's doing underhanded things, but we don't know what her motivations are.
Well, she was going to have him killed in the first episode. Doesn't she say at the end of the first episode something about like I'll take care of my son or like something like that?
Yeah, but again, why would she try to actually kill him if she's trying to get information from him? I just don't think we know enough. But you said wouldn't his dad know that she's evil? I mean, he was gone 5 years. It's always possible that whatever she's doing didn't come up until after he left. And that maybe, because this seems like a show that would do this, maybe something about, them getting shipwrecked has a lot to do with why she's gone kind of nuts.
Yeah, I there's things about this show that I'm really liking. There's things about it I'm really not. I like that they're doing so many just straight up comic book villains, but if they're all just gonna be like China White, who by the way didn't get a name and that annoyed me because I don't know how to pronounce her name. Like in Green Arrow Year One, whatever her name is, it's not pronounced China White, but Ollie keeps pronouncing it China White. I don't know how to actually pronounce it.
Oh, interesting.
And I was
okay.
and I was like, all right, they're gonna say your name, and I'm gonna know how to pronounce this name from now on, and they didn't. I still want Ollie to be more jokey. But if all the villains that show up, like if next episode Deadshot's just another hired gun, I'm really not gonna like it. Because China White was in one miniseries. So like you can kind of do what you want with her. Deadshot's a character with 30 years of history. Like you can't just throw him in and just like I want him to be Deadshot. I want Deathstroke to be Deathstroke. That's going to be a big make or break it for me.
And for my money, I'm not as worried about what they do with existing comic book characters, especially because a lot of the characters that are major in Green Arrow continuity aren't people that I know all that much about. I'm just, within the context of the show, more interested in seeing Green Arrow go up against villains that are really interesting and have cool characterizations and are people that I want to see on screen when they keep going to them and Arrow's not around. Because right now they're all going to blur together for me if they're all like the last two for the next 6-7 episodes.
Well, I guess if Deadshot and Deathstroke, like even if they're not exactly like their comic book counterparts, if they at least have their own distinct characterization, it won't be as bad. Like this is their take on the characters, kind of like what Nolan did with certain characters. I don't mind that. I really want them to not just be, because if everyone is what the assassin in this episode was, this show is gonna get really boring really fast. Whether they're named after comic book characters or not. They're still just gonna be assassin this week shows up, Ollie takes him down.
I totally agree. Having said that, I was much more entertained by this episode, and like I said, a lot of the major recurring characters, I could kind of get a sense of where they're going now, and was much more interested in them, especially again the bodyguard and Laurel both. So
yeah, I totally agree. And the last thing I think I have to say about the show is even if I didn't like this episode, and I thought it was pretty good. Even if this was not a very good episode or like a generic episode, the ending cliffhanger really makes me want to see what happens in next episode.
Absolutely, yeah, much more so than, and wasn't it weird too? Because that was like a double, triple cliffhanger. I was much more interested in that than I was, the next thing on the mom's list of doing evil things. You know what I mean? Because they did that again, where it was like, oh, and now I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, I don't care. And then I was really glad that we got that island reveal with him getting arrow shot at him. I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah, and there's the other guy there who I'm hoping is Deathstroke or in some way involved with Deathstroke. Yeah, I think that's the most interesting mystery they set up in the whole series so far. Because that's just such a, like, you would never think of that. Like, you're like, yeah, he was on the island by himself.
And I'm really cool now with this idea of having island flashbacks at every episode, and I like that they don't have to be half the episode necessarily.
And I like that they don't have to, like, concurrently tell a story with the episode. Like the flashbacks don't really affect what's going on in this episode.
No, although they're related enough, I think. I don't think
Yeah.
we're getting those things at random.
Yeah, but at the same time, like it's not like it's a parallel story where
it's
you're
not.
like, well, he learned this, he learned this lesson on the island.
But that's because it's
and that's
not a
how he
big
knows
chunk
how
of
to
the
do that.
episode. You know, it's only these
Yep.
little token scenes. And yeah, you don't really want it to be Lost again. I mean, Lost did that. Did a great job with those paralleling stories. And I'm not going to say that I don't like that kind of storytelling, but I didn't need it for this. So I'm glad that they're not
Right.
doing that. Well, everybody, thanks a lot for listening to Arrow Discussions, and we'll see you again next week for episode 3. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
We'll see you next time.